I go up and down the mountains. I walk, and I'm, I don't know, I'd say about 14 hours a day. I'm working on videos for you. I want all of you to understand what we have here in the way of an opportunity for you. So I wanted to say welcome to the show. And we're now going to address any and all questions that you have. So over here on TikTok and over here on Rumble, I'm watching the Rumble room, everybody. So if you have any questions, go ahead, fire away. We would like to address all of those for you. But in the meantime, Mark, I'll just let you finish off your story. You've been here 3.5 years.
3.5 years, Kev.
Right.
Yeah. You know what, guys? People think that it's impossible to do it. Once you get out of your normality, it's actually quite an easy move to make here in Costa Rica. It's an enjoyable one. Remember, one life to live it to the fullest. Guys, just follow your heart, follow your gut. Don't think with your mind. Take that chance. Now, with that being said, you do need to have some capital to make the move to Costa Rica because remember, you are starting new. But we can help you when it comes to that to generate business. But you do have to have a little nest egg when making a move like this.
I would highly recommend that you don't think that you can come to Costa Rica and live forever on $5,000. Like you can vacation here for that, but believe me, that $5,000 is going to be gone. All right. So if you don't know where to shop, for example, you're going to pay high prices. If you don't go to the right places to shop, you'll find that prices are the same as Calgary, Vancouver, Toronto on food and restaurants. But if you do know where to go, we know where to go, you'll pay very reasonable rates, in some cases about a third of the price. But you'll learn that as time goes on. And a $5,000 budget won't last you the 9 weeks that I've been here.
Yeah.
That's just not how it works. Costa Rica is the most expensive country in Latin America, but it also has the most to offer. Let's get your thoughts there on Honduras, Guatemala, and Nicaragua. I know you love talking about those countries. Mark, go ahead.
Okay, if you guys are looking for communists, if you do bring any type of wealth to a country like that and they want to take it from you, by all means, go and do it. The reason why Costa Rica, you have to remember this, is we have China, we have Dubai, and we have Russia. Their financial status is held here in Costa Rica. So just like a shark swimming in the ocean, where are you going to want to be? You're going to want to be the bottom feeder on the bottom of the shark that's actually cleaning the shark to protect the shark because they get to roam around free. So look at Costa Rica as being that shark that you're going to cling here. Wherever the wealthiest of the wealthiest go, follow them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to lose their wealth. They're not going to lose their freedom. Just join along with them and you'll be protected in the same way. And like I was saying, Kev, your last video, sorry, 500,000 plus hits on it. I haven't seen that yet before. Just yesterday, 24 hours ago, it was at 253,000 when I last looked at it. Actually, I think it was this morning. You are crushing it because I think people are starting to hear you and they're starting to really advance and they're thinking about taking that opportunity. You want to interrupt?
I'm good. So what I want to say, guys, is with reference to Costa Rica, if you know my story, I'm a journalist and podcaster and public speaker and so on in Canada. And the Canadian government just didn't like what I was saying. So they kept locking me up, arresting me, locking me up. Cops would follow me everywhere. Why? Because I have a big mouth, but I talk. I mean, I got a smile on my face when I'm reporting the news, but I'm just reporting the news. So for me, the reason to be there was nil. There were no reasons to be there. And as far as I can see, that all my business in Canada is pretty much done, guys. In Costa Rica, it's a brand new life. It's brand new attitude. You can see it's the end of January now, where it's probably minus 40 back in Calgary, and I'm in a t-shirt. In fact, I'm sweating. There's a little bit, right? He's in a tank top. All right. And I'm in very, very paper thin shorts, and even those are too thick for me. So yeah, I just wanted to say that there's a new opportunity, but because I left my comfort zone, and even though I had nothing in Calgary, I was still comfortable because I had a place to be. I left my comfort zone. I came here, and all of a sudden, my audience has dectupled on all of my social media because I have freedom of speech here. Mark, you have no idea how important that is.
Yeah.
Being able to speak freely. And I really never wanted to speak ill of anything. I just wanted to tell people what I knew to be true at the time that I knew it. They don't like that. Here, they don't care. The government here is not bothering Mark. They're not bothering me. When I see police, it's just, I say, hola, or buenos dias, or buenas noches. I always get a greeting in return. People here are polite, kind, and loving. Mark, we got some questions coming up here in the Rumble room. All right. Hold on, Ed. Hold on. I've got assets in Canada, 2 rental properties. Is your recommendation to liquidate all my assets and move to Costa Rica through real estate acquisition? From a 10,000 foot view, what are the benefits? Mark, that's
all
yours.
right. So we had an 85 room chalet in Collingwood, in Blue Mountain. We had our house, our stocks, bonds, RSPs, exotic sports cars, you name it, we had it. I liquefied everything and brought it into Costa Rica. Now, doing so, I have invested very smartly, because we do have a lot of developers. So it's like knowing the ins of the area. We have bought properties. I've done pretty well with my properties. I've been able to more than multiply my properties for investments. The opportunity is now, over the next election with the U.S. and then with Canada, I'm finding right now I can't even keep up with the amount of referrals of people that, especially from Canada, they're saying, okay, it's time to get out, time to liquefy. You got to remember, the class action lawsuit is going to be filed. Where do you think
that's the Emergencies Act class action lawsuit. Right. People are suing the government. What Mark's going to say, you got to hear this. Go ahead.
Think about
Mark.
this. Where's that money coming from? It's coming from you as the taxpayers. It's your money that the government's going to be giving away. It's your money that they're using to file and try to fight it, right? So that's going to just completely bomb the system, because you have $367 billion sitting in CMHC. Once that's gone, and that'll only take a few million people, Canada's ruined. So a lot of people are now getting their money out of Canada, and they want it moved into Costa Rica, and they're buying property, something can physically hold. They have physical assets, and they can rent them out, because the rentals here are just off the charts when it comes to rentals.
Yeah, it's amazing how much money you can make on a rental property here. It is highly, highly profitable. Bitcoin. I heard a question there about Bitcoin. There's a farmer's market right here in town, and half of the people there, they don't speak English, but they do take Bitcoin. Mark, you got some more news about Bitcoin. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can buy houses here with Bitcoin. You can buy cars here with Bitcoin. It's the endless possibility. So, like, we are stepping back in the early 80s or the mid 80s here, but we do have modern technology, which does help a lot. So Bitcoin is a big thing here, guys. No problems with that whatsoever. Cash is always king in Costa Rica too. They'll never get rid of cash.
All right. A Walcol says, hey, Kevin, I bought a plot of land in Costa Rica. Looking forward to your insights. Okay, so what you could do, anybody who has property here already or is going to be buying, just go to my personal website, which is KevinJJohnston.me. You can see it in the bottom right corner of the screen there, KevinJJohnston.me. And use the contact form, top right corner, just hit contact me with the form. I'll get back to you quickly, or Mark will get back to you. One of the two of us is going to call you and review what it is you're looking for. And if you do have property here, now this is the part I love the most. If you have imagination, you can have any house you want here. You know, a lot of cases, building a house can be inexpensive. The land acquisition is expensive and so on. But if you're going to be building a house, it's the same price in most cases to build one your way as it is to build one someone else's way. So, Mark, I want to talk a little bit about custom homes here, because I know. Go ahead, please. Let me fire away.
Okay, so guys, I'll give you an example. A lot of custom homes. So back in Canada, my entry level home was $350 Canadian a square foot. High end was $1,500, $2,000 a square foot. At $175 US a square foot here will get you a turnkey home, right? Finished with the pool and everything. Every house here has a pool. And if you start getting up to the 275, 300 square foot homes, those get you the elite mega mansion homes, everything done, safe rooms, Cat 5. Like, we're talking the prestige of the prestige. If you think of the nicest areas that you are back at home, that's what that price would get you. So it's significantly less, because the labor here cost is a lot less than what it is back at home. So it is a good way.
Yes. What I can say is the place that I'm in right now, it's full concrete block walls and steel roof. Like, there's no way for the house to burn. So nobody has fire insurance here, because nothing could burn. Even in the most extreme jungle fire, your house ain't burning. That's just how that is.
Right now, and I'm going to tell you this right now, we do have a lot of developments happening in Costa Rica. A gentleman friend of mine just finished investing $500 million into purchasing 1,000 acre. He's building luxury homes from $1.6 million up to $8 million. The return on the houses here in Canada, you would get like a 30% return when you sell it, profit. Here you can double, if not more than double your profit. And the taxes in Canada, you're going to pay anywhere between 40 to 50% taxes on it when you're done. Like as a resale for a business, here you're going to pay about 15 to 25% taxes. So you do walk out with a lot more. If it's your principal residence, you actually don't pay any taxes. It's 100% tax free. That's the way to do it, guys.
So you can have 5 houses. You can sell number 5 and move into number 4.
That's right.
All right. And this is your primary. Then you can sell number 4, move into number 3. I'm going to make sure this finger doesn't stand up by itself. We're going to all 2 and 1. You guys can keep doing all of that as you see fit because it's your property. And I'm not going to say that the laws are deliberately lax. I'm just saying that the laws are here to not interfere with personal life. That's the one thing I've noticed. The laws here actually do protect the individual and the individual's money. All right. Just going to address more questions here. What's a good amount of money to bring there? You're 40. Does that mean you're 40 years old and you're middle class? I think what you're trying to allude to is, do you work here? Well, I'm the first one to say that Costa Rica is not a place you come to get a job. You come here to get a business. You come here to build yourself up a new life. Now, a lot of people that I've spoken to in the last 3 days, a lot of them, not a lot, but I'll say about 30 to 40%, which is still significant, have remote incomes. They're working for American, British, German companies. They can do it remotely. If you've got that kind of a job, you don't quit that job. You come to Costa Rica, enjoy life, and do that job from here. And just make sure that you've got yourself the best internet connection that you can have, and you're good to go.
Or if you want to start up a business, you're going to hire the locals and you're going to start up a business. But remember, when you get down here, you do have to have a safety net set aside so you can start networking when it comes to working with the expats in the area. So they get to know and trust you, and then they're going to hire you, and you have the locals that will work for you. They are very eager to learn how to work. They are hard workers.
Mm-hmm.
They will start at 5 a.m. and they will finish at 5 o'clock at night without any issues, without complaining. And guys, we're talking anywhere from $3. The skilled trades are $8 an hour.
Yeah, they were. Okay, so we have GoldenEye.
Let me add to that if I could.
Okay, so Ed's got to add something because Ed always has to add something. Go ahead.
I spoke to Get It Here, Jerry. I was interested in bringing in machine tooling, fabrication equipment. The import duties are 10 to 15%, so it's nothing like the cars.
Okay, so we will. Okay, that's actually a good point. That we're going to address that right now. First off, Golden Eagle. I'm going to say, do I miss Calgary? Just the good friends I have. Okay, and that's the truth. Just the good friends I have. But 2 of them are coming down, and it's only a matter of time before the rest do. So everybody that I know in Calgary will eventually end up here because everyone's fed up with it. Calgary's a beautiful city, but it doesn't have any opportunity. Even the bars and the restaurants now, they're not full. The businesses are all losing money. The malls, plazas, all over Alberta now have so little business. The shops have so little business that they're closing up and they're putting pickleball courts in. The only thing you can make money on right now in Alberta is oil, sort of, and pickleball. Isn't that kind of crazy? So yeah, we always feel bad about that. And so Sandvik Fur, $4 million will I need to work? What kind of interest do you get in your money in the bank? If you've got $4 million US, you don't need to work here. But Mark, go ahead.
Okay, so if you're gonna do that, what you want to do is we have a few banks. If you put it into Scotiabank, which is not affiliated with the bank in Canada, Buck Bank or BCR Bank, they will give you a 4% return interest on your money. Now, if you put it in Copa Clianza, which is a private institution here, they'll transfer it over to Colognes, the amount that you need. They will give you a 14% return on your money.
Whoa.
Which is really, really high.
Whoa.
But what a lot of people will do, what I automatically will tell people to do is you take a portion of that, reinvest it into real estate. If you buy a home, certain homes here, let's say you buy it for $700,000, you put another $40,000 into it, you're $740,000. Right off the bat, you can turn and flip it for $1.2, $1.3 million. So think of the return on that right there alone, and you declare it as your principal residence. And again, guys, you don't pay any taxes. It's tax-free money. When somebody's buying a house over here too, you have to understand the seller doesn't pay any taxes, land transfer taxes. They don't split it. What they do is the buyer will cover all the closing costs, land transfer taxes. So your money is free and clear, your money.
Fabulous. And that is a very key thing to know. So as the seller, you guys, you'll do quite well.
Sorry?
All right. So we have Republican Ed, please, if you don't mind. I was going to buy a home in Alberta, but because of such high cost of living, I want out. Well, yeah, I wanted out. I mean, I had to get out, and here I am. I highly recommend, if you're planning on leaving, don't wait. It's going to be difficult in the future to be able to leave, because when we go to central bank digital currencies, and that is coming, and I was predicting 2025, I'm actually thinking it's going to be late in 2024.
Third quarter of this year.
I actually think it's going to be like when school goes back, when the NHL season starts up again. That's what I'm thinking. If you're going to be having to, by law, convert your cash and your RSPs and everything else into a central bank digital currency, an actual cryptocurrency that the government owns and runs, then it's too late to go.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to allow you to spend too much at one time. And also what you have is going to have an expiration date. So you're going to have a very short period of time to spend. And your spend versus what you have ratio could actually be that you lose money. It goes into oblivion. That's what they'll do. It's called burning coins or burning tokens. They will actually burn the excess they take from Canadians. By the way, Sandvik Fur, if you did want to talk to us about investing in property, my website is just my name, KevinJJohnston.me. It's in the description somewhere around here on TikTok. It's on the bottom right corner down here on Rumble. And just use the contact form. Get a hold of me. Mark and I will call you back at some point within 12 hours. Okay, we're very fast at returning messages. Alrighty. And for those out there, I get it. There's some people here, Mark, they're saying that they're very depressed. They're tired of Canada. Don't give up. Okay.
Yeah.
There's something more to life than paying taxes in Canada, as they call it. There's also more to life, Americans, than suffering in Democrat states. There's more to life, England, than trying to figure out what your place is when the city of London is now only 36% white or native born. So think about these things. I know how depressing it is to see these things happen. Don't give up.
Well, let's say this, Kev.
Yeah.
If you look on population of Costa Rica, the last time will pop up for you is 2011. They have no clue how many people are in Costa Rica. None whatsoever. The average Costa Rican immigration lawyer prior to COVID would do about 2,000 to 4,000 applications a year.
Mm-hmm.
You got to think there's like over 2,000 immigration lawyers in Costa Rica that do it. Almost every lawyer can do immigration. Now they're doing anywhere between 30 and 40,000 applications. The big guys are doing a year. Average is what they're doing. So that just tells you the numbers of how many people are saying, you know what? Forget everywhere else. Time to get out. Let's get back to the late 70s, early 80s, whatever you want to call it. You know, I'm driving today, picked up my in-laws. They're in the car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm like, you guys want to have a beer? They're like, Mark Gooch, you can drink and drive? I'm not going to drink, but you can drink. I'm driving.
Yeah.
100% you can. For sure.
You can have a beer while the guy drives.
Yep.
The passengers can sip a beer. Yeah. Actually, that blew me away when I visited Costa Rica back in 2001. The first thing that the guy, I don't even drink alcohol, but the driver who picked us up said, "Did you guys want to get a beer?" I thought, well, I hate beer. I'll get a cooler or something. I just drank in the car because I could. It was one of those like a victory thing.
Exactly.
And I've noticed that nobody here, Mark, nobody drives drunk here.
No.
You know, it's a
no, they do. You just don't see it because they're not worried about getting pulled over and being handcuffed and thrown in the back of a car. So you just don't see it. So everybody just drives really tranquilo and slow.
Yeah, there you go. Tranquilo, huh?
Tranquilo.
Tranquilo.
Exactly.
You drive casual. That's how that works.
But guys, man, this is your time. Fire away with the questions. Whatever's on your mind. Tell Kev, tell me, and let's get those answers for you.
Okay, here's one. Republican Roadrunners asking, will our show be exclusively and only Costa Rica? When I work with Mark, yes, it will. There will be a couple of shows coming up because I know so many people were asking me about Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. There is a gentleman that would like to come on the show in a couple of weeks to explain how it all works in Mexico. And there's a gentleman that I work with in Tampa, because I know not everybody wants to come to Costa Rica. That's fine. And I know a lot of Canadians and New Yorkers and Californians want to get out of those places and go to Western Florida, which is also fine. I can help you with that. But I live in Costa Rica, and this is where I'm staying. So the vast majority of what I do will be that. However, if you have any questions about the areas I've just mentioned, and that includes Alberta, there's one dynamite rep that I work with there. She can help you get everything done. I'll certainly guide you towards the right people in the province of Alberta, but I'm not there. I promise you I'm staying here for a very long time. All right, very long time. Oh, and there was a good question here. There was a gal saying that she's single. Hold on.
Single lady.
I'm a single lady. Where is it safe to be near other expats? Mark, you've lived here. You go ahead.
The area that we're in, we do have a lot of ladies from the ages of 21 all the way up into their like mid 60s are living here. Another safe place would be Escazú in San Jose. It's a very ritzy, high-end area where you guys went to see Santa Ana.
It's a beautiful place.
But this is one of your most safest places if you want to be close to the water.
Correct. Yes. The East Coast, I've got my opinions on the East Coast. Mark's got his. My opinions are that the West Coast is the best coast. I think that the crime rate is higher on the East Coast because the highways to get from Panama to Nicaragua and so on to move drugs are less patrolled on that side. That's my thought. Mark, your thoughts. Go ahead.
Yeah. So if you're in like Limon, it's like Little Kingston in Jamaica. Right now they have like their turf wars and all that because they do peddle all their drugs through there. Remember, that's what makes this a safe haven is that, you know, the president is controlled by the Colombians, the drug lords. The biggest dealers is the Canadian and the U.S. government, right? So you're going to keep your gateways open. But what's nice about it is we're 5 hours west of Limon. So we're where all the more well-off expats live, the more educated expats, but it's one of the safest areas. And this is the playground for the rich Costa Ricans.
Very much so. And there's a lot of white Canadians here and a lot of people who are not white born in Canada who grew up with the same culture that I did. So it's always a pleasure to speak to hockey fans and football fans and basketball fans and so on. There's a lot of stories that get exchanged back and forth. And I know that I bring up the word white a lot, but it's not a matter of that. When I refer to that, I'm simply referring to culture and not skin color. So in Canada, the culture that Mark and I grew up with is very prevalent here in Uvita. It's more prevalent on the West Coast because a lot of Canadians, Americans, Brits, Aussies, and New Zealanders are here because they're fed up. Right? They're fed up of the way things were. So, Christy, also, if you come to Uvita, you get to hang out with we, the two of us. All right, this guy, I don't know, man. I would never fight this guy. There's something about this guy. Something about Mark.
I don't fight, man.
Well, I know he doesn't fight, but there's just something about this guy that says don't fight him. And look, there's good people here is what I'm trying to get at.
There's a lot of good people.
And what you'll find is the community here, even the locals who speak Spanish, everybody here looks out for each other. So it's to the point now where I've only been here 2 months and a week. I'm now known by a lot of folks just up and down the strip because I walk to the shops every couple of days. Everybody knows Mark. Like, I mean, everybody, even the dogs and the lizards know who Mark is.
Hello, Mark's marketing.
So, yeah, it's very safe. And here's the other thing, Christy, is that you'll find that there's girls like 15, 20 wearing bikinis
Hitchhiking.
and they're hitchhiking and they get where they're going safely. It's just a part of the culture here that we are simply not used to. So it is a safe place to be. Through some more of your questions here. I'm leaving Canada. I'm not paying for pointers. I won't be scammed. Well, we don't charge you for pointers. This is a free show. So come on down.
Even relocating is free of charge.
That's exactly it.
I used to get it all the time. When I first started doing this, people are like, well, I'm not paying you. I'm like, I'm not asking you for a credit card. I'm not asking you for a debit transaction, an e-transaction. I'm not asking you for everything. We're basically giving you our free time and hoping that, if you trust us and you trust our information, that you'll trust our judgment on where it is, the good and the bad, where to invest, and then we'll help you with that, right? That's what we're saying. But this is a way for you to get free advice and to get free knowledge and honest knowledge of what's going on in Costa Rica and pretty much around the world. Yeah, absolutely. And as Mark was saying, is that when you decide you want to utilize our services to come down here, we're not charging you. There's none of these extra admin fees, and we don't charge you for hanging out with the cool guy time. It's none of that nonsense.
We're not charging you for pens or for car rides. That's not what we do. That's not how we do things. There are relocation companies that do that. You got to be careful. Like, I would never drop $10,000 just for information.
Exactly.
You always have to be very wary what you're going to give your money to. Like, here, let me give you an example of how quickly money can disappear. Everyone knows the Canadian government gave me such a difficult time. And they brought this case against me that was based on absolutely nothing, aside from the fact that I talk like this with a smile on my face on my show. So I contacted lawyers to see if we could mount a proper defense. And one lawyer says to me, and I couldn't believe he even had the audacity, Mark, to say this to me.
Yeah.
He says, well, I'll tell you what we'll do here. We will do a case review for $5,000. Okay. So this is what they're going to do. They're going to take my $5,000. They're going to go, nah, that's it. That's what they would do. So be very careful when you hear the wording of what people are saying to you. A lawyer who says we're doing a case review is going to think, can we win this case? Yes, no, we don't take it, but thank you for the $5,000. Some relocation companies in Latin America will do just that. They'll charge you 5, 6, 7, maybe even 10 grand US, and they'll make a couple of phone calls, give you a little bit of information, and then they'll direct you to a website or some FAQs. You don't want that.
And remember, we're Canadian. There's Canadian relocation companies here. There's American ones, and there's Costa Rican ones. And they will start off by saying to you, well, it's $150. Why don't you put $2,000 in transfer? Once we use that $2,000 up, depending on how much time it takes us to use it, we'll then replenish it, and I'll start providing the information. Guys, that information we'll give you is free. There's no charge to it. But ask your questions.
Yeah, for sure. Gloria, I just want to say thank you for that. You said that you found out about us on the Shadow Davis show. That's awesome. Do you know I've actually never spoken to Shadow Davis, but he does good work. So tell Shadow I said thank you and hello. Absolutely. Curly May is asking, we asked before about healthcare and doctor's payments. How's the healthcare here, Mark?
Healthcare is phenomenal. Now, when you do become a resident of Costa Rica, you will be part of the CAHA system, the Universal Basic Healthcare. Any existing conditions you have will be covered by Costa Rica. Medications, heart surgeries, neurosurgeries, cancer treatment, it's all covered. The private healthcare, phenomenal. I fractured my foot. I went to see a doctor. I was in and out in 40 minutes, blood work, and orthopedist for my foot. All the treatment, it was $110. I had nasal surgery, so I sound a little congested. I had everything cauterized up here. I talked to the specialist, one of the best ones on a Friday. I was in his office on a Tuesday, and I had their surgery done, and I drove myself home.
Just like that. All right.
Just like that.
Yes, I'm in Costa Rica. That's nudity plus CO. Yeah, we get a bit of lag here, folks. Sometimes the internet is a little bit up and down. We are in a beach town on the West Coast. I'm born in Costa Rica, and I lived in Alberta all my life. Now I'm thinking about moving back there. We'd love to see you. Call us when you get here, and we'll do lunch.
100%.
Absolutely, we will. And your mother lives in Gupilis Limon. Aha. Fantastic. Hello, Mark. Good to see you. This is your car sales guru, Chris from Orangeville Chrysler.
Hey, Chris, how's it going, man?
Did he sell you a good car?
Oh, I bought cars off him every 4 months. Brand new cars.
I bet you miss Mark being down. Who's buying the cars every 4 months now? All right. Blunt Truth says, I'm inexperienced, not stupid, no judgment. My wealth is my new life. Well, okay, I'm not sure I fully grasp that, but if you're talking about how to protect your wealth, that's why we do what we do here. You want to protect your wealth in a place where Canada Revenue Agency, whatever the Brits call theirs, and the IRS especially, cannot get access to your personal information and your bank accounts. There's no treaties.
Now,
go ahead.
For Americans, what we can do too, we do have special lawyers that do work on our behalf that I can actually show you how to resign as a resident of the U.S., but still be a citizen of the U.S., and you no longer have to pay taxes or submit anything to the U.S. the minute you resign as a resident and you become a resident of Costa Rica. Your taxes will drop literally in half the minute you become a resident of Costa Rica. Once you submit this form and do this, they can't even go back 7 to 10 years and find something on you and charge you with it because you're no longer like a Canadian. It's easy for us Canadians because the minute we declare non-resident of Canada, we no longer have they have no jurisdiction over us, and you become a resident of Costa Rica, you're fully protected. We allow that same thing. I found the loopholes to allow Americans, and I've been helping them do that for quite some time now.
Okay.
We can help you with that.
Absolutely. Can we get everybody who's watching up here on TikTok, please, just to rapid fire your fingers on the screen? Let's get the likes up to 10,000 if we can, folks. It really does help the algorithm notice what we're doing and provide more of what we're doing to the world. So yeah, just please like away. We certainly like that. If you're watching on Rumble, everybody, could you hit the thumbs up, please? We have, what do we got there? We have 10 people have hit the like, but there's a lot more than 10 of you in the room right now. So could everyone just hit the thumbs up, please, in Rumble?
Don't listen to Kevin.
Yeah, do listen to Kevin. All right. All right. Don't get a haircut like Mark's.
I'll give you a thumbs up. Yeah,
there you go.
Hair Moorhead.
Okay, here we go. So I just Healthy B. This is a great question. Healthy B. I spoke to a brilliant tax lawyer in Canada today who will be coming on my show in 3 weeks. 3 weeks to discuss how you can get your RRSPs out and get the maximum amount out of them through nonprofit organization donations. It's going to blow your mind when you find out. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's your friend.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
So I talked to this guy for an hour today.
He's a genius.
The guy is a genius. So we're going to have him on the show and talk about not tax evasion, but how to lessen your taxes completely legally in Canada.
Legitimate.
Like all legit, not the way I do it, but like completely legit. and we want to make sure that when you're taking GICs and RRSPs out, that you're keeping the maximum amount of your money in your pocket. And that is also going to be a service that will be available on my website about 3rd to 4th week of February of this year. Somewhere up here is my website address on TikTok, and right down here.
You know what sucks, Kev?
What's that?
I found him after I cashed out my RSP, stocks, bonds, and everything.
Oh.
He reached out to me like 2 months after. He's like, Mark, what did you pay? I'm like, the 35% they automatically held back, and I had to declare it on my taxes income. He's like, damn it. He goes, I would have more than cut it in more than half for you. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, I know it's heartbreaking. But that's what Mark and I are doing. We're going out of our way to make sure that we are helping you save as much of your money as possible and put the maximum investment down here in Costa Rica where you will not lose on it. And Mark, I had a gentleman today. I'm going to talk to him because I want to get his insight.
100%.
But a gentleman today says that Costa Rica cooperates with the IRS and Panama doesn't. I personally believe it's the exact opposite.
It is the opposite.
Mark, your thoughts?
It is the opposite. No, and I know this firsthand. It is the opposite. I have helped not hundreds, but thousands of Americans make this move. Like I said, guys, I found the loophole for the Americans in order for them to not have to declare. Now, there's all stipulations. If you put something in your principal name, you should report it to the Americans. If you put something under the identity of the incorporation and it's underneath that shell is holding it, you technically don't have to. A lot of people just feel that they have a need to, even Canadians do. But legally, you don't have to. But like I said, I do have a lawyer that does have all the rules, the implications, and shows you how to resign as a resident and not have to give up your citizenship as an American. So, guys, we can do it legit. We can help you out legitly. Don't have to worry about that, and we'll show you how to do it. It's not hard.
It's not hard. It's just involved. And when you do contact Mark and I, some of the things that we're going to ask you to do might seem a bit odd. But it's just because you're dealing with another country's paperwork. That's all that it is. So we're not asking you, we don't want to know the intimate details of what you're doing. We're interested in the business aspect.
Yes, we do.
He does.
I'm kidding.
I don't. But
No.
If it seems odd, it's only because some of the forms you got to fill out here are odd. Some of the questions that you have to answer are odd. But they're odd only because that's Costa Rican culture and not our own. No problem. I'd still rather be here than Canada. And that's the God's honest truth. Tom Guns is asking, will all of this be on my website? Yes. If you go to my personal website, KevinJJohnston, my name.me, KevinJJohnston.me. As new information is provided, you just get on the homepage, you scroll down a little bit, and there's news all the time. So I'm still doing social commentary, and I'm doing a lot of real estate work like this. You'll see news. It's always going to be there waiting for you. If you want to see what's really going on, in reference to real estate, the second link on my site at the very top of the website is real estate. Mouse over that, and you'll see 4 links. One is the main button. Then you've got Costa Rica, Mexico, and Florida real estate. You can click on any of those and all the information that you need will be there. I update my website every day now. Like there's something new on my site every day.
Kev should have my face next to his on it.
I can't get him to sit still for a photograph. That's the problem. Right? And besides,
I'm just playing
this gentleman here, he's all over the place. So I'm actually shocked that I got him to a restaurant. Usually this guy's on the road and he'll race home like a maniac to get in front of his phone to be able to do the show. I don't know. How'd you pull it off today? He was in San Jose today.
I was in San Jose.
Yeah.
It was a 7-hour trip, round trip, guys. It's hectic right now with the amount of people, and it comes in waves. Right now, it's a lot of investors that are getting information from their financial advisors to make this move, to strategically bring their funds into Costa Rica to buy assets. Mm-hmm. A lot of people think gold and silver. The problem is the government controls gold and silver. They can tell you what it's actually worth, if it inflates, if it deflates, let's call it. But when you actually own physical land, something that's of value that you can physically hold, touch, people need, you can grow on it, you can live in it, whatever it is that you want to do with it, that's the best investment where you can put your money. You're never going to lose on that, right? You just got to really think about that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, a couple quick things here about Canada Pension Plan and OAP. Yes, when the gentleman comes on, and I've only just started my relationship with this gentleman yesterday and today, so between the 2 days, we don't have our entire service list in place yet, but we are going to have this for you. So what I would recommend is if you're in a hurry to do your income tax, relax. Wait. We're going to have better advice for you in about 3 to 4 weeks. Just chill out.
He's
man.
A really smart guy.
He is.
Really smart guy.
I only work with really smart guys, and the thing is, look, I work with people who have a very strong work ethic, but also people who think completely outside the box. And the way that life works these days in Canada, United States, England, every thought that you have cannot be in the box, or you're going to end up like Archie Bunker, sitting on a chair, watching TV, screaming at your wife. You don't want that life. You want the life that we have. We look pretty happy, don't we?
Well, it's funny because you got to think, when you're growing up, your grandmother, if you're an ethnic, European or whatever, they always say, save up your money. Think about when you're 50, 60 years old. Nowadays, it's like, what am I going to be doing tomorrow or in a month from now? It's no longer thinking 5-year, 10-year term. What about a month, 2 months from now, right? Because the world's changing so much. But I still have the mentality, stay 5 steps forwards, still think 5 years ahead. Mm-hmm. If you can reach your goals, that's a bad thing. Make goals that are unreachable. They're intangible. So every day you have a new goal, try to reach that goal and never reach it. And continue trying to reach your goals. And guys, I will be seeing you down here. We'll be having a beer in a restaurant like this, chilling out, relaxing, going to the beaches, having a good time, smiling. It will be you guys on the camera next time talking to everybody else, giving them your advice.
Yes, it'll be more like I'm going to ask you a question and put the microphone in your face and let you answer the questions to everybody here. That's what's going to happen, right? For sure. And as you can see, this restaurant, it's all outdoors. We got a nice canopy over us here, but there's a dance floor back there. There's a stage over here. There's a pool. This restaurant's got a pool here. Apparently, they're going to have this real big bash for Valentine's Day, singles night, ladies, guys, just whatever. Come on down, have a good time.
Tons of Latino girls.
I just had a burger. It's an inch thick. Literally, it was an inch thick. So there are. And the guy that owns this place is Calgarian. Yeah, Big Mike. He's Calgarian. It's awesome, man. So I love what we have available to us here. Okay, so I just want to address some more of your questions. So anybody who has questions about Mexico, we are going to cover Mexico. I don't have a date for that yet, but we will cover it. Rest assured, the gentleman that I work with has been working on real estate in Mexico for almost 5 years now. He's going to have a lot of questions. And if you have questions about Western Florida, we'll have answers for you on that as well.
Florida's good. Kat, you have to remind people one thing about Mexico. I do have a lot of people from Mexico. When you sell your principal residence in Mexico, automatically right off the top, 30% will go back to the Mexican government. There is no ways around it. A lot of people that will actually move here, and they're like, damn it, this is the reason why a lot of people are picking Costa Rica, is because there's no surprises. So when you do the interview with the gentleman from Mexico, just ask him and talk about that. What do you pay at the end when it comes to for the Mexican government, right?
Correct. That's correct. Yeah, and we were, me, I put everybody on the spot, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. All right. So someone was asking about cash. Yeah, cash is king here. Like Mark keeps saying, this is like the 80s. It's true. The only exception to it is that a lot of places will take Bitcoin and a lot of places will take credit card. They've got all the convenience stores and grocery stores have credit card zappers. All of them do. This, for example, this is a $10,000 note, or 10,000 colognes
$20.
note. This is 20 US or about 24.5 Canadian. So the burger that I had tonight would be 7,500 colognes. So that'd be about $15 US, 16, 18, about $20 Canadian. So that would pretty much cover it, tax and tip and the whole 9 yards. What else do we have here? We've got the five, like mil does not mean million, just for the record. Mil, you can see on the cameras here. Mil means thousand. So 5,000 colognes, that would be 10 US, maybe 12, 13 bucks Canadian. And they got the smaller notes here, the 2 mil notes and so on. But yes, everybody here takes cash. And regardless of what you heard in the news, there's not a single place that Mark and I know of that will not take US dollars as well. They won't take Canadian.
No.
What do the banks take Canadian in exchange?
Scotiabank and San Isidro will take Canadian if you have an account there. They frown upon it.
Okay.
They want US. Remember, the biggest banks in Costa Rica, Bank of Hong Kong, which is the Chinese bank, their currency is not held, their money here is not held in their currency. It's actually held in US dollars. Russia, it's held in US. Dubai, it's held in US dollars here.
All right. Mark, we just get a quick thing here on Karen's asking, are you protected with health insurance here?
You are. So I have the public system healthcare, and remember, the private doctors have to work in the public sector too. But I also do have private healthcare. Now, my private healthcare for both my wife and I, I'm 46. My wife is turning 50. Our healthcare coverage is $4,900. It's a $5,000 deductible. So once we use $5,000 up, we no longer have to pay anything. I got everything from private helicopters, ambulance, the most state-of-the-art surgeries. To do a triple bypass surgery here, it's in under 3 hours. There's no tearing of your chest open. 3 pong holes in your chest, a 1-inch incision under your armpit, and a 1-inch incision on your wrist, and you're up and running back in 3 weeks. So it is state-of-the-art.
Yeah, or a lot of orthoscopic surgeries here. They like Mark said, they don't like to rip you open here.
No.
So that is something that is absolutely fantastic. All right. So we got to move on to our next questions here. Ed's got something to say. Every single show, we don't want him to say a word,
No,
but
but
he's got his finger
We
like
want him to say
this.
something.
So you got to come around. The microphone, they're not going to hear you. Ed, come all the way around. Come around.
Come on, Ed.
No one's going to hear you over there.
Okay, Kev, I've been here 3 weeks. We're eating really, really well.
Yep.
I can see a lot of our health issues just disappearing because the food is much better.
Oh, yeah.
The air is clean.
It's all grass-fed.
Hey?
Everything here is grass-fed. There's no hormone-fed food.
Yeah, and the fruit tastes so much better. I could see people getting healthier just by eating normal, healthy food.
Well, I agree with that. The pork chops here are, they are unbelievable. The flavor,
bacon, the chicken, the eggs.
It's fabulous. And like I said, if you know where to shop, you're paying about 1/3 the price you are back in Canada. If you shop in the grocery stores here in Uvita, well, it's kind of pricey, but occasionally they have some pretty good deals. It's a matter of, it's a different life, folks. So one thing that we will be doing from here on in is driving to San Isidro. It's about an hour away. Actually, if the highway was like Highway 401, what would you figure? About 20 minutes away, maybe.
20.
But it's a single lane highway, which is fine. That's what we're here for. We go to San Isidro, save a bunch of money, and drive back with groceries. If you're okay with old school way of doing things, which is drive into town or a different town, buy what you need, and come on back, then sure, this is definitely for you. But Mark, they already do this in Canada. How many times have you heard about people driving over the border to shop at Costco, 20 minutes over the border in like from British Columbia and Quebec? We did that. I remember driving over the border in southern Quebec. We went to Costco. We bought 25 frozen turkeys, stuck them in the trunk of the car, drove back. This really weird lady opens up the door. It's half French, half English. Do you have anything to declare? It just yells at us. Yes, 25 turkeys. Okay. It just waves us through, right? So Canadians are already doing that. And if you are the kind of individual who has no problem driving across the U.S. border to save some money, you're going to have no problem driving to a smaller town or a bigger town or a different town to save some money. just it's how it is.
Well, this is not healthy, but I'll tell you. So my father-in-law buys 2 cartons of Marlboro cigarettes. Okay. In Florida, where he just came from, it was $125 for 2 cartons. He bought him here. It worked out to be $55 for 2 cartons of Marlboros.
Whoa.
He's like, I think the lady made a mistake. I'm like, she didn't make a mistake. So we have duty free that's about an hour south of us here.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. 2 cartons of Marlboro cigarettes will be $55 to buy 2 cartons. A bottle of Grey Goose that's normally like $50 is $15 at the duty free, and everybody can shop there. That's in Costa Rica.
Oh, so you don't have to have a plane ticket to shop duty free.
No.
Isn't that wild? Okay. So I was actually asked about chemtrails here.
$5.
I did a quick video about that
Marbles.
actually on my Instagram page. Hold on. Yeah, it got 227,000 views.
Man, I miss
And all I
cigarettes.
did was I
miss them.
stood on the top of the staircase where I live right now on the side of a mountain. And I just showed you beautiful blue skies with no chemtrails of any kind. And I haven't seen a single solitary one. I've seen one helicopter fly since I got here. And planes just don't fly over this particular area of the country. So the West Coast is clean. It really is clean. Mark, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, when you see the odd plane flying, it might be Paris Hilton, who's in the helicopter. Sorry, the plane's helicopter flying. Or what it is, it's the coastal that's patrolling the shorelines to make sure there's no funny activity happening in the waters around Uvita, because it is protected, right? The wildlife, the whales are here 10 months out of the year, 3 different types of dolphins, right? So we do have to protect a lot of the land. And we have the rainforest in here, which is very well protected because 90% of the medications actually come from the rainforest in Costa Rica. So it's very well taken care of, and it's very well watched over by the entire world.
Yeah, perfect. And Cool Dude 52. Yeah, just contact me on my form, please, on my website. I'm looking forward to hearing from you very much. I got to actually add this as well. Because it's a Catholic country and because it's an old school Catholic country, you're going to find there's a lot of old school values, which we no longer have in North America. You do not want to be a dog abuser here. People love dogs here. We know because Ed brought his lovely dog with him, a Airedale Terrier, a very uncommon species here. So everyone's looking, oh, your dog is so pretty. It's great. But there's a lot of reverence. People hold dogs in high regard here.
And you can bring them into all the restaurants. You can even bring them into the supermarkets.
Yes. We take the dog everywhere.
Yeah.
But, because I'm a polite guy, I always ask, is the dog okay? They always say yes. We walk in and the waitresses, the first thing they do is they bring water for the dog. So remarkable. Here's a great one. I have not seen a single pride flag since I got here. I haven't seen any of this trans nonsense here. There are no Black Lives Matter fisty logos here.
No.
There's none of that nonsense. Do you think for a second that a Catholic country is going to put up with that? They're just not. And look, if you were to see people twerking on police cars, the police would just get out and knock you out. This is not Chicago. This is not Ottawa. You can't behave like that here. You got to be a respectful person if you want to come to Costa Rica. And there's nothing wrong with good manners. And I think good manners are pretty easy to
Everybody just
perform.
gets along.
That's what it boils down to. All right. Blunt truth. Okay. For everybody who wants to know about RSPs, don't take them out yet. Wait until our special guest comes on the show in 3 weeks. Wait until we have it listed as a service on my website, KevinJJohnston.me. Then you're going to save money. All right. So just chill. Chill, dude. Remember what we used to say in the 80s? Chill, dude. Relax. You don't have to be in a hurry to pay taxes. You cannot do jail time for not reporting taxes in Canada. Okay. So just relax. Just not how it works. Everyone thinks I'm going to go to jail. No, you're not. They'll send you a letter and they might make a phone call saying, you better do it. And the guy won't even speak English. So it's not even like you're going to know what he's talking about. So just relax, everybody. Okay. I'm just going to keep going through your questions here. Mark, you can answer this one. Yeah. Dominican Republic versus Costa Rica.
So I actually live in the Dominican Republic for a year and a half. Dominican Republic right now, they are giving away land. They're giving away properties because people don't want to be in the Dominican. It is very communist. I'm going to give you an example. Dominican people cannot leave the country unless somebody will put a bond of 50,000 plus to make sure that they will return to the Dominican Republic.
What?
So a lot of the Dominican guys will try to get foreign girls pregnant, thinking that if they get them pregnant, they're going to marry them and then take them out of the Dominican Republic. It is very communist. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so that almost sounds like the old Czechoslovakia.
Yeah.
I had relatives in Czechoslovakia that they had to apply for a travel card 3 years earlier to just come to Canada for a 2-week visit. It was crazy. Wow, Mark, that's insane. Not the kind of place I don't want to be told when I can and cannot leave.
No.
All right. And I had enough of that in Canada. I had the Canadian government telling me, you can't leave Alberta. You can't say stuff. You can't be on social media. How long did they kick me off of social media?
Wow, they're bringing the digital
They're bringing it all in.
IDs in for your health records in Canada.
Do
year.
not sign up for that. I beg you. Keep your old health cards. Do not sign up for digital ID. They're going to sell it to you like it's some kind of big convenience.
Yeah.
It's not. It's the complete intrusion to all your privacy because they want to merge driver's license, medical records, boat license, hunting license, plane license, your CPR records, your blood work. Everything will be on one card. You don't want to make it that easy for the police to interfere with your life. And even though you're not committing a crime, in Canada, there's no rule of law. It doesn't matter. If they have access to all that information, they'll make a crime up and say, oh, here's the evidence. It's all on your digital ID. Don't get that card.
It's funny, Kev, here in Costa Rica, when you want to track someone down, even in Uvita, which is not a big town, it can take you months to track somebody who only lives about a half a kilometer away from you. Amsterdam, I was just talking to a gentleman from Amsterdam. Every street corner has 6 to 10 cameras that is constantly watching the streets 24/7 and doing facial recognition. She goes, it's a great thing. He goes, it's safe. I'm like, that's not a great thing because they can watch you 24/7. They know exactly where you're going, what you're doing, what your pattern is.
Well, they can memorize everything. Like your gait, the way that you walk, they memorize that. What they'll do is they'll watch you for facial tics. Like if you scratch or you pull or you light up, you do whatever, they begin to learn your pattern, your body movements. So there's no hiding because if you've got 100 years of muscle memory in there between what your father did and what you do, like I noticed my father and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but my father and I had some type of tick, like in our way that we moved. I worked hard to get rid of it, but we had the same tick. They'll know. So if they've got facial recognition of your grandparents and you, then they'll be able to identify you by family, by movements that you make. Like Donald Trump with his every time he talks, facial recognition and all these scanners would pick up on that and say, hey, Donald Trump is on 3rd Street. Yeah, they'll do the same thing with you.
They will.
And if you think that they can't, trust me, they can. So why don't you come to a country where they don't have the infrastructure for that?
Exactly.
And the government's going to say, what? Why? They don't care. They want you coming here and investing. They don't want you coming here and being afraid.
Because they say to you, hey, where do you live? I live by the old mango tree that was cut down 20 years ago. Just look for the stump in the 8-foot grass and you'll find my house. I'm right there. Really? Yes. 10 trees later.
Yes. Okay. FF 1980 says there are some cameras by the beach. Yes. People do have cameras on their houses and some of the hotels have cameras. Yes. But they're not government run.
No.
They are private property. There are no government cameras that I have seen anywhere at all. When I was in San Jose, I deliberately walked around and rode a bike around the entire neighborhood looking for surveillance. There was nothing in the way of surveillance at all. Okay, Santa Teresa on poles. Send me some photographs there, FF. And the next time I'm in Santa Teresa, I don't mind checking that out. All right. So there we go, folks. We'll take one more question because we do have to go. The show's only an hour and we're already over time. All right. One more question. The first question gets it answered. And don't forget that my political show is on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. the same time on freedomreport.ca. The Kevin J. Johnston show is the political show Tuesday, Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And this show is every Wednesday. We only talk about real estate and Costa Rica, possibly Mexico and Florida. But that's we're not a political show on Wednesdays, all right? And that's still 9 p.m. Eastern time, freedomreport.ca. Oh, great. This is a beautiful question.
All right.
What is the spacing between houses like? Wow. Okay. In my hometown in Mississauga, spacing was like non-existent when I was growing up. My neighborhood was all semi-detached houses. So you shared a wall and a lawn on one side and a small driveway on the other, with, I'd say, maybe 20 feet between houses. And then I remember when they built this neighborhood over by Square One Shopping Center, where the houses, literally as a kid, I could stretch my arms out and touch both walls.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is ridiculous. Where we are living, there's no grid pattern here in any way.
Yeah.
So it's as much space as it takes for an off-shaped lot with an off-shaped house to be from another house. The closest house that we have is about 25 feet away. Another one's about 30 feet away. And then there's like another house 150 feet away. And then there's no houses for miles. That's just how it is in Costa Rica.
It's 200 feet up a mountain and it's all by itself. Nothing else is surrounding it.
Exactly. So there's a lot of room here if you want there to be. And there's a lot of room if you buy it. On my website, one of my listings is a motel for sale. 10 acres of land. A built motel. It's been there forever. It's also got a restaurant, a small administrative house, and a house you could live in, plus 3-minute walk to the beach. Incredible. It's only $750,000, and the property tax is what, like $1,500 a year.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable what you can get your hands on down here. With a 10-acre plot of land, you could build whatever you wanted there and split the deed on the property and sell your own houses to people if you chose to do just that. There's a lot of freedom here to do what you want to do. And Aaron says he got 2 photo radar tickets in Toronto. Can't afford tickets like this. Haven't had a ticket in 30 years. Aaron, you got to fight those in court. You have to fight those in court. Do not pay those fines. My God, ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no photo radar here. Thank God for that.
If there was, I'd be in trouble driving around with cop lights on, flashing 24/7 at nighttime.
I can't argue that. I cannot argue that. Mark, closing remarks before we take off.
Guys, man, just reach out to Kevin. It doesn't hurt. Ask your questions. Take that chance, right? On the bottom and on the top.
Right there.
Reach out to him. He'll put you in touch. Both of us will answer you. We'll help you out. What do you have to lose? Look at it that way. We're not asking for any money up front. We're not asking you for nothing. You have nothing to lose in this. All you have is something to gain, and it might open an opportunity for you to make this dream become a reality. One life to live, guys. Live it to the max.
Oh, yeah. By the way, look, everybody. Look, remember how I used to have that big puffy double chin? I could actually rent out billboard space on my double chin. Remember that? Look at that. It's gone. It's gone. And that's only 9 weeks. So, yeah, come. Have a good time. Last couple of questions here because they're real short. Dude, the record man, is $6 million enough to move there and retire?
Oh my God.
Yes.
100%.
You would live like a king here. You'd have a blast. And are there vaccinated poked livestock here, Mark?
No. Everything is free range. There is none of that.
It's delicious.
It's free range.
It is.
Literally will put the cows and the chickens in open fields, and the owners will allow them because they cut the grass for them. And they have no problem with that. Your eggs are on a shelf. They're not in a fridge here. Your milk's on the shelf. You can get raw dairy, raw cheese, raw honey, raw yogurt. It's not illegal like in Canada. Everything is legal here.
And the yogurt is delicious. You drink the yogurt here. Oh, the flavor. I could drink 10 gallons of the stuff. I really could. Mark Savoy, everybody. Thanks for being here. My name is Kevin J. Johnston. This is the Real Estate Show. That's every single Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we can't wait to answer your questions. We can't wait to help you out. And like I said, just take a chance. Look how happy I am. Compare how fat my head was just 3 months ago to today. And look at my skin on my videos from just 3 months ago and compare it to today.
Yeah, you look like a vampire right now with the light on you.
But yes, true story. But nonetheless, guys, it's I'm having a blast. I took a chance. I'm making it work. You can do the exact same thing. Yeah. KevinJJohnston.me. We'll see you in a week. Take care.